Hello guys! We are going to talk about a mystery thriller film called Jennifer's Body. A lot of interesting things are waiting for you. In the first scene, we meet the main character, Anita Needy, who has been committed to a psychiatric hospital. It turns out that she is a dangerous patient, which becomes even more apparent when she attacks a nurse for no reason. As punishment, Anita is thrown into a dark punishment cell, and while there she recalls all the events of her past life. The story then switches to flashbacks, taking us to a small town named after a mysterious waterfall. Next, Anita tells us about her best friend, Jennifer, a popular and attractive cheerleader at their college. Despite the fact that they have very little in common, they enjoy each other's company. Anita also has a boyfriend named Chip, but she has a stronger attachment to her best friend than to her romantic partner. One night, Jennifer invites Anita to a local bar where the indie rock band Low Shoulder is playing. When they arrive, Jennifer notices the band's lead singer, Nicholas, so she approaches him. They chat for a while, and Jennifer is sent to get some drinks. While she's gone, Nicholas approaches his bandmates and discusses Jennifer's virginity, saying that she would be perfect for their project. Anita, who overhears their conversation, feels strange and later shares this with her best friend. However, Jennifer doesn't pay much attention to it. Soon the band starts their performance and everyone starts to enjoy the music. However, a sudden short circuit causes a fire that quickly spreads throughout the bar. Chaos ensues. Amid the commotion, the two friends manage to escape through a bathroom window. Surprisingly, the band members are already outside, acting relaxed, as if nothing had happened. They talk for a while and suddenly Nicholas asks Jennifer to join them. Anita is scared, but Jennifer agrees without any hesitation. She even ignores her best friend and gets into the guy's van. After they leave, Anita returns home and immediately contacts her boyfriend, telling him all the details of the incident. In the middle of their conversation, Anita is startled by the sound of the doorbell. She slowly goes downstairs and opens the door, but sees no one outside. Anxious, she returns to her room, but then hears sounds coming from the kitchen. Anita goes to find out where they are coming from and finds Jennifer completely covered in blood. To make the situation even more eerie, she lets out a wicked smile. Jennifer then opens the refrigerator and begins to devour some raw chicken. And then she screams at the top of her lungs and vomits up a plume of dark liquid. It looks like she's been possessed by some kind of devilish force. The whole scenario is too much for Anita to bear, so she tries to call for help, but Jennifer quickly pins her against the wall. She then prepares to bite Anita's neck, but something gets the better of her, and she suddenly runs away. The next morning at school, Anita looks agitated, unable to move on from the events of the previous night. She is also worried about her best friend, but to her surprise, she is fine. Jennifer appears in a completely normal state and dispels Anita's concerns. Everyone is upset about the recent news where many people died during a concert, but Jennifer remains indifferent and even laughs at the situation. Confused, Anita asks what happened to her best friend. She knows that her behavior has something to do with the band. Later, Anita seeks out Chip and tells him all about Jennifer, including the angry look she had yesterday. On the other hand, Jennifer approaches the captain of the college football team, Jonas, who is mourning the loss of his best friend, who also died in the fire. With words of comfort, Jennifer takes him to the woods behind their college. Once there, she begins to seduce him, while several birds and animals mysteriously begin to surround them. As Jonas begins to inquire further, Jennifer transforms into her evil self and brutally eviscerates him to death. His terrifying screams are heard by a college professor who rushes to the scene and finds the mutilated corpse. Later that evening, Anita and Jennifer have a phone conversation. Anita is haunted by the incident, but Jennifer convinces her to move on with her life, emphasizing that life is too short for such things. In the middle of the conversation, Jennifer deliberately burns her own tongue with a lighter, but is unharmed. At this time, Anita receives a phone call from her boyfriend, telling her that Jonas has been killed, which makes her even more worried. Meanwhile, the music group is gaining a lot of popularity thanks to false rumors that they saved many people during the fire. Hundreds and thousands of people start inviting them to a concert, and a charity performance at a local school is finally confirmed. After that, the movie takes place a month later. The locals, including Anita, are finally able to smile again and move on from the tragic incident. However, Jennifer looks lethargic, tired, and unhealthy. One day, after school, she and Anita are walking down the hallway when a classmate named Colin asks her out. Unexpectedly, Jennifer accepts the invitation and sends him her address, inviting him to her home. Later that night, Colin eagerly drives to the location specified by Jennifer, while Anita and Chip spend intimate time together. Upon arrival, Colin realizes that the area is deserted and the house is still under construction. Despite this, he enters the house and encounters Jennifer, who instantly scares him from behind. Wasting no time, she begins to seduce and kiss him, but then he notices a disturbing change in Jennifer's eyes. Colin tries to run away, but the evil girl transforms back into her monstrous form and ruthlessly kills him. Meanwhile, Anita, who is in the midst of a romantic relationship, suddenly begins to hallucinate. She sees Jonas's spirit on the couch and blood dripping from the ceiling. This warning sign scares her, forcing her to abruptly leave Chip's house and drive away. However, this is not the end, as she almost runs over Jennifer, who is bleeding to death. Panicked, Anita rushes home and locks herself in her bedroom. Trying to calm her racing mind, she goes to bed. However, to her horror, she discovers that Jennifer is present in her room and looking normal again. This puzzles Anita, and she doesn't understand what is happening, and Jennifer suddenly kisses her on the lips, intending to help her relax. After these events, Jennifer reveals a shocking truth. The band Low Shoulder, who participated in the bar fire, took her to the same mysterious waterfall and sacrificed her to Satan as a virgin in exchange for their fame and fortune. She also claims that despite the sacrifice, everything went well. She did not die because she was not really a virgin. However, Jennifer explains that she never became normal because she was constantly possessed by Satan. After the incident, she remembers waking up unharmed, even after the group members had stabbed her several times. Jennifer then says that when she returned home, she felt very hungry. So she ate her first victim. Stunned by the horrific revelations, Anita asks Jennifer to leave. Jennifer obeys and jumps out of a second-story window about 13 feet above the ground. In the next scene, Anita begins to conduct paranormal research to learn more about the disturbing events that have been happening recently. To do this, she goes to the occult section of her college library and starts reading books about the occult and the sacrifice of virgins to Satanists. After much research, she finally finds out that her best friend is actually a succubus, a supernatural creature that feeds on flesh. These creatures can only be killed when they are hungry and weak. Anita then shares her discoveries with her boyfriend Chip, hoping for understanding and support. Unfortunately, he dismisses her claims and suggests that she may need psychiatric help. As they continue to talk, Anita has a sudden realization and decides to break up with her boyfriend. On the day of the college trip, Anita is eagerly awaiting Jennifer's arrival, determined to keep an eye on her. Meanwhile, Jennifer intercepts Chip on his way to the program. She cunningly makes up a story, saying that Anita was having an affair with Colin. She then leads him to an abandoned swimming pool, using the same seduction tactics she used to kill her previous victims. Back at the program, Anita becomes increasingly worried when Jennifer doesn't show up for a long time. She rushes to Chip's house to check on him, only to find out that he has already left for the program. Worried that something bad has happened, Anita begins to explore the area and eventually comes to an abandoned swimming pool where she sees Jennifer eating her boyfriend alive. Alarmed, Anita jumps into the pool without hesitation and starts fighting with her best friend. She sprays Jennifer with pepper spray, but it only makes her angrier. Jennifer, with a thirst for revenge in her eyes, approaches Anita, preparing to deliver the final blow. But the wounded Chip gathers his last strength and stabs Jennifer with a pool skimmer. This causes her to lose a lot of blood, making her weak. She retreats from the scene, realizing that she is now vulnerable. Anita then rushes to her beloved Chip and hugs him. They have a touching conversation before he closes his eyes and dies. Anita, heartbroken and full of rage, prepares to take revenge. In the middle of the night, she breaks into Jennifer's bedroom through the window and attacks her. A fierce fight ensues, but Jennifer prevails, sinking her teeth into Anita's shoulder. Despite this, our heroine does not stop and continues to fight with all her might. At some point, she manages to rip Jennifer's necklace off, forcing her to stop fighting for a moment. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Anita stabs Jennifer in the heart, finally killing her. A moment later, when Jennifer's mother comes into the room, she is horrified to find Anita on her lifeless daughter's body. This is the reason why Anita ended up in a psychiatric hospital.